This is our place, come on in. Our place, so glad you're here. Our place, everybody's welcome. We see God on every face. Love lives here in this place. Welcome to our place, our sweet place.
Welcome to CSL Boulder Valley Teaching Chapter. CSL Boulder Valley Teaching Chapter has been in Boulder Valley for over 20 years, and it's we are a welcoming place. We welcome and honor all people. All people are welcome here. And one of the tenets of CSL and Boulder Valley is that we all have this spirit or divine essence. We all have this goddess or God manifestation. And as we gather, that energy, that goddess manifestation blesses the whole community and blesses you. So I'm going to move into the talk. I'm going to do a screen share here. Go ahead and diminish that. So this talk is called Breakthrough. Will you say yes? So one definition of a breakthrough is a transformational and sudden increase in knowledge, understanding, or an important discovery. This often happens after trying for a long time to understand or explain something. How many times have you bumped up against things in your life again and again? That's one of the cool things about this CSL technology is that we offer classes wherein people can dive deep into those challenge areas, where people can bump up against things again and again. And as the onion layer gets worked through, those things soften. And one of the things that's available is a breakthrough, an aha moment, or a paradigm shift. So one of my friends who's a CSL congregant here was visiting Sai Ma's house up in the mountains. And Sai Ma is this amazing transformational teacher. She's provided transformation for thousands of people. And my friend, they started the tour of the house down in the basement. And they got down there and there was this huge tree that was the center point for the stairs. And the tree went down into the ground and went all the way up to the second floor. And as she got up to the second floor, she looked over at this big old tree, and all this energy was coming out of the tree. And she realized that it was connected to the center point of the planet. The crystalline core of Gaia was moving up through this tree, and it was blessing her and blessing everyone in the room. And all this color and light was moving through her entire being. She was literally having a breakthrough in the moment, being with this big old tree entity, this tree blessing on the planet. My friend was open. She was saying yes. She was able to notice that tree was a gift to herself and everybody else in the room. She was saying yes to the energy of the breakthrough that tree was gifting her. So how do we be open? So I was walking down the Pearl Street Mall yesterday, and they've got these giant beds of tulips. And usually they're upright and pert and just gorgeous. Well, most of them had snow on top of them yesterday. I had to stop and take a photo. It was just too exquisite of an opportunity not to take a photo. And as I'm taking the photo, I get this metaphor. It's like these tulips with snow on top of them are just like human beings. See, as human beings, we're filled with love and light. We're filled with this divine manifestation. And sometimes we have snow on top of our head. Sometimes we have stops or blocks or hindrances. And as we do the work, that metaphorical snow melts. As we soften our ego or that place of judgment, as we do the daily spiritual practice or the meditation or the body work or working with a practitioner or a therapist, all of these things set the stage for breakthroughs to happen in our life. As the sun shines on the tulip and melts the snow, we can do the same thing with our stops and blocks and hindrances. It doesn't have to be hard. See, our ego likes to think that we have to stay stuck in place. Otherwise, we're going to die. That's how serious it is for our place of judgment. Is like if we shift or transform or move into an area of breakthrough, we're going to die. And that's the kind of conversation that's in our head. So those old patterns that we learn from childhood. See, those old patterns from childhood are important. We design those patterns to keep us safe. Quite often, a lot of us had challenging childhoods. And we designed those patterns, or our ego designed those patterns to keep us stuck and safe and not to venture out. Well, as adults, we have this opportunity. We have this opening to soften those old patterns, those old judgments, just like the sun melts the snow off the top of the tulip. When the sun of our presence moves through us, the snow can melt and soften. So those deep-seated structures, those traumas, sometimes we had traumas as childhood, as children. Those traumas can be softened. Those old patterns can be gently invited off to the side. See, that's vital inside this deep work that we do here at CSL, is we have to be gentle with ourselves. Those old patterns that we designed as kids, they need to be hugged and cherished. I like to use the metaphor of gently reaching out and taking the hand of that little child that had challenges. Gently taking the hand and say, look, here's a safe place off to the side. You stay in the safe place. And me as the adult will do that transformational breakthrough work. So how can we foster these breakthroughs? A willingness to say yes is a beautiful first step. See, when we have willingness, what that does is it softens the place of judgment. The place of judgment wants us to bump up against things, wants us to say no, wants us to stay stuck in place. And when we have willingness, willingness is a soft, gentle energy. And it nurtures and grows presence. The next step is observing or witnessing ourselves. See, when we can step outside of ourselves and witness what's going on without judgment, without make wrong, really when we can be gentle with ourselves and witness what's going on from the outside looking in, it's a powerful tool. Being open to coaching and being able to listen to someone else's point of view is also this amazing access to breakthrough and transformation. Quite often our ego wants to push back. Our ego wants to say no. No, we don't want to take the coaching. We don't want to take that next step for growth and development. When we're gentle with ourselves, we can invite that pushback off to the side. And what this does is cracks open a door of possibility. And just the simple act of cracking open the door sets the stage for breakthroughs. Our ego thinks it's hard work, but it can be easy. See, when we take that first step and we crack open the door, it's a breakthrough in its own right. It cracks open the door for possibilities to flow, for that snow to melt on top of us so we can say yes. So this is verse 36 of the Tao Te Ching. To reduce something, one must deliberately expand it. To weaken something, one must deliberately strengthen it. To eliminate something, one must let it flourish. Let me get a drink of water here. So part of this process is going all the way to the bottom of shadow, going all the way to the bottom of those challenge areas. Our place of judgment wants us to do things halfway. It wants to have us go part way down the path and then stop. And what happens is we're part way down the path is quite often fear can come up. And fear is a natural reaction. It's important for us to have those fears to be kind of a red flag. And when we gently invite the fear off to the side, when we bring prayer forward, when we do our daily spiritual practice, when we meet with a practitioner or a prayer partner, as we do this work, when we go to the bottom of the shadow area, that's when the breakthroughs start to flow. And see, here's the thing. Breakthrough can be like this aha moment, like this aha moment that's just sudden and all of a sudden. But quite often, breakthrough takes time. Breakthrough takes the daily spiritual practice. Breakthrough takes working with the prayer practitioner again and again. A really important part of doing the shadow work is being patient and being gentle with ourselves. As human beings, we have this pattern of dissing ourselves or making ourselves wrong. That's not the gig here. It's really about soft and gentle and having things flow. So once again, noticing and witnessing and observing ourselves from the outside is an avenue. Being awake and present in the moment, this wake-up call to our light. Just like the tulip underneath is filled with love and light. When you see the tulip and it's just like, it's effervescent. As we gently melt the snow of our challenge areas, we wake up just like the tulip wakes up when the snow melts. Matthew Fox talks about it this way. This awareness of awe and greatness can be a regular thing. Meister Eckhart was a mystic, I think I forgot when, a long time ago, maybe the 13th century. But Meister Eckhart was just filled with wisdom. We're actually doing The Way of Paradox in our book study group every other Tuesday, which is about Meister Eckhart. Meister Eckhart says it this way. Meister Eckhart says that for the person who is awake, breakthrough does not happen once a year, once a month, or even once a day, but many times each and every day. So that's the invitation. That's the invitation as you're taking your walks in nature, or you're doing your meditation practice, or you're talking to a friend, or even you're at the store. Have these day-to-day things that we all do be openings to breakthroughs. Maybe someone's rude to you as you're driving, and we have a reaction. This can be a teacher. We can notice our reaction, we can observe ourselves, and we can notice and we can say, oh, I just got mad at that person. Do I want to be angry for the next 2 hours? Or do I want to be present in the moment? Do I want to be open to breakthroughs? That's the invitation. It's to have our day-to-day life be openings for breakthrough. Let's move into prayer. I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. Relax into whatever place you're at, whether it's a chair or you're lying down. Notice the temperature in the room. Is it warm? Is it just right? Continue breathing. That in-breath and that out-breath is a sacred access to presence. As I breathe, as this being called James takes the sacred breath, energy starts to flow through all of who I am. And I notice that at the core of who I am is this divine energy, is this spirit, is this oneness. And I behold the same for each person on the call. I behold the same for each person watching this recording. Each person has this core essence of the divine, of infinite possibility deep inside. And I invite that forward. I invite forward that ability to have breakthroughs, that ability to soften the place of judgment, that ability to dance the dance of oneness from hour to hour, day to day. See, that's one invitation on the table, is for human beings to have love and light and presence flow through all who they are, flow through all of who they are. That is what CSL Boulder Valley holds at the foundation, is this invitation for oneness and presence and light. See, as each person invites that forward, it gifts the whole community around them. As each person invites forward the ability to have breakthroughs, the energy of that is infinite, and it goes out and blesses the community, the family, the whole planet. That's what each person has at their core, is the ability for their energy of the divine to bless the whole planet. I give great thanks for this. I give great thanks for this technology called CSL, wherein we can come together and learn, wherein we can come together and pray, wherein we can come together and bless the planet. I give great thanks for each person here. I give great thanks for each person watching this recording. And I notice that beautiful love and law that is behind each word of this prayer. And I release this prayer into that infinite love and that infinite law And I invite us to say together, and so it is. So I'd like to move into a time of offering. This is the time when we have the opportunity to give of our treasure. And also, this is an opportunity and an invitation to give your time and to give your talent, not only to CSL Boulder Valley, but to your family and community. Catherine, would you go ahead and run that slide? Let's say it together.
This perfect
Your spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give, joyously I receive.
And
So it is. Excellent. I'm going to go to screen share again. So there are many ways to give. At the end of the newsletter and on the website, there's opportunities to give online. You can do PayPal or credit card. You can do text to give. You can do snail mail if you want. Or you can come to our in-person service that we have every second Sunday and give that way. Tithely is another method for contributing. Very good. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Zoom room to our community connection portion. And I invite people to go ahead and unmute as we come together in community, as we come together in this Zoom room. As we unmute, we can hear those awesome, cute little noises that we all make, those oohs and ahs and those grunts and groans. So if you're comfortable doing so, I invite you to go ahead and unmute. And I open up this community connection. If anybody has any thoughts or comments or anything they want to point to, this is the invitation to do so now.
Original music written and performed by Karen Karsh. Copyright held by Karen Karsh Crystal Music. All rights reserved.